Yo, yo, what's up, guys? Sorry, running a little bit late today. How's everybody doing? All right, sorry about the echo. All right, hold on, guys. Wife's calling. Oh, she hung up. Ooh, it is cold today, guys. It is cold here in Texas today. Ugh. Hello. All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's like 30 degrees here in Texas, which, if you've never been to Texas or the southern states, this is like super cold here. Um, and so, yeah, running a little bit late. We had to get my kids some extra jackets to wear to school. We should have Mitch here a little bit early, it looks like. Hold on, Mitch. I got you, bro. Today I'm going to be testing the EMA crossover. I'm going to be testing a strategy, the EMA crossover, and we'll see how that goes. We did a class yesterday on it. Shout out to one of our members, Casey, for telling us about this strategy. It looks pretty interesting here. I'm going to be testing it on AMD, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. It looks interesting. Not going to use live money yet. Just going to test it for a little bit. Try to find out and figure out the little nuances behind the strategy. But overall, it looks pretty decent. We're using the here. Let me. All right, I'm sending you the link now, Mitch. Here you go. Just sent it. But yeah, we are using the 12 EMA and the 26 SMA. So the 12 exponential moving average and the 26 simple moving average is what we're using for the crossover play. Well, like I said, it looks interesting. Very interesting results so far. Yeah, that is like snow weather here, man. I was hoping it would snow, bro. Here, sorry guys, let me catch up with the chat. I know we got a lot of chat this morning. Tex already, Two Ways already sent us his news releases. So let's check that out real quick. Appreciate it, Two Way. What's up, Vitalis? John Ennis, good morning, man. David, good morning. Two Way. Netron, good morning, bro. Tyler. Tech, what's up, man? Bondsmith, good morning. Matthew, Kane, Jay, Desert Edge, Chase, Mark, Greg, Huguetes, George, Nick, what's up, man? All right, so yeah, so Two Way posted some stuff here. We got Morning Squawk, which states that the U.S. stock futures were set to extend Friday's gains on optimism that the Trump administration can come to terms on a China trade deal. And so it looks like futures may be up because of that hype. Two-way trader also put out, said can't talk. The Dow broke a 3-day losing streak Friday, but it was not enough to extend its weekly gains to 10 in a row. And so the 10-day green streak, weekly green streak on the market overall was broken on Friday, apparently. And looking at a few stocks here, we got RYIV, or YRIV, I'm sorry, YRIV. If you look at YRIV here, it's the bottom chart. Nice move here, big gap up from 45 cents up to $1.03. And this one is Brager, Eagle, and Squire PC. And it reminded investors that the class action lawsuits have been filed against the Yangtze River, YRC Worldwide, and Natural Health and Maiden Holdings. And they also encouraged investors to contact the firm float of 77 million, so it's not necessarily a small float, especially for a penny stock like this that's at $1.06. And so, it's a smaller float. It's not necessarily a small float though. So we'll see what happens with that one. It looks interesting. We also have NK here. NK, you can see on the bottom chart, it is gapping up from about $1.32 to 161. This one is Crest signs a worldwide license agreement with ProMab. So NK basically signed a license agreement with ProMab Biotech to exclusively develop select next-gen targeted natural killer cell therapeutics. A float of 27.9 million, smaller float as well. And then we also have RKDA. This one moved a lot last week. RKDA. You can see it's moving. If you look at the bottom chart here, this one's gapping up from 720s to 880s here. And so it does gap up some over the weekend. And this one received its first industrial hemp program license in Hawaii. Very small float for this one, 2.9 million. So a very small float for RKDA. And then we also have MDGS. MDGS gapping up. You can see on the chart here from about 285 to 344. So a nice gap up here for MDGS. And they put out a release that said they are going to establish with Linkery an e-commerce, which is an e-commerce platform for CBD products. Float of 955,000. So a small, tiny float. Under a million float for MDGS. So that's definitely one that I'm watching as well. Okay, so Mark is saying that they have listed the float as a few different sizes. Some said 2.6 mil, some said 74 million. So either way, we'll still look at it. But yeah, that's a big difference. Appreciate the news though, Tech. Thanks, brother. All right, I think we might have Mitch in here. Let me see. Yep, we got Mitch in here. Yeah, I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to grab oh, there's my headphones. Yeah, I mean, for the strategy, the crossover strategy, it looks super interesting. So, Casey's actually the one that told me about it. And you guys know me. I mean, I usually stick to VWAP strategies. They're kind of my bread and butter. And I've just kind of been trying to stick with what works. But these specifically look really interesting. And the reason they look interesting is because you can use these here. Yo, what's up, Mitch? Let me make sure. All right. Say something.
Good morning, traders.
Yes, sir. All right. Everybody let me know how Mitch's volume is. Let's make sure the volume looks good. How's the volume? Let's see. It should be okay, I think. Maybe a little bit low. If it's low, I can turn it up.
All right.
A little low? All right, let's try it again. Say something, Mitch.
All right. Let's see what we got here.
Better?
Monday morning.
Turn them up a little bit there. It should be good. But yeah, Mitch, yesterday's class we went over the crossover, the EMA. And the thing that's interesting here, like if I remove, let's say I remove this study for now, the VWAP study, right? And we just look at this crossover action. Okay, that's much better. So very interesting here. One thing I noticed is that when the blue crosses over the white, and the blue is the 12 EMA, and the white is the 26 SMA. When the blue crosses underneath the white moving average here, then it usually signifies a bearish move. And it's really interesting because you can essentially hold it until it crosses over again. So you can see it crossed over here, signifying a bearish move. And then you can see when it starts to pull back up, it crosses back over. And so it's a really interesting thing. And another thing you notice here is that the farther apart these are, the more it's in a trend, right? The farther apart, the farther spacing in between these two moving averages, the more kind of confirmed trend it's in, the more obvious of a trend it's in. As they start to get closer and closer together, that's when you get more consolidation, and that can kind of signify a potential trend change happening. So just really interesting. Like I said, I'm going to start paper trading this one today on Thinkorswim. Oh, if I do that, I'm going to have to sign out of this. Hold on. Let me, dang it. Now I'm going to have to redo the moving averages, which is fine. All right, so here,
Not too bad though. I like the idea.
Right. No, it's for sure, man. And I haven't back tested it. I do want to preface this with that. Like I said in class, I have not back tested this one, and really all props to Casey for this one. Casey's one of our students. Here at Beginner Trading, it's kind of like a crowdsourcing thing. A lot of times we'll get strategies from our members and kind of test them and look at those together. And so Casey's the one that showed me this one. And once I kind of looked into it, and started studying it, it seemed pretty reliable so far, at least. On AMD specifically is the one I tested it on. But even with MU, we looked at MU a little bit yesterday. It seemed to work fairly well.
We'll definitely have to take a look at that one. I mean, I've used moving averages in the past, and they definitely do work.
Right, for sure. I've,
Just
I've
give them specific entry and specific exit. That's what we're always looking for in a strategy.
right,
A lot of people want to ask, how do you make your own strategy? Well, the real key to any strategy is that it's going to be have that specific variables that you're looking for, and then that way you're not kind of being subjective about your trade, but more objective and knowing where you're going to get in and out of the trade.
right, for sure. They did. You gotta. They have to be super concrete points so you could test it. And that's the only thing that I'm kind of running into with the moving averages is that it may be a little bit hard to test. One thing I'm thinking of is like at least for a reward target specifically, like really you can use the crossover as your risk. So you can use the previous crossover as your risk, right? And like I said, props to Casey for dropping us with that knowledge. But you can use the previous crossover as your risk, right? But then it's just about where's your reward target, and we want a measured reward target that's going to give us like an obvious level. And so I was thinking a percentage of like maybe the daily range would be reasonable for a reward target, just to see maybe how much it ends up dropping a certain percentage of the daily range after we do get the crossover and stuff like that. But
So what's been going on? Any crazy stocks? How's that lovely CIFS?
BPTH has been pretty crazy. It got halted a few times on Friday. BPTH. Let's see what it's doing right now. I forgot. Yeah, it's still up a ton. Held the gains.
I was trading this thing. See what happens.
Yeah, man.
Still tradable for us?
BPTH? I don't think so. Let me see. I can check. I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
There's another one that I was looking at.
Here, I'm gonna throw you up for a second while I restart my Thinkorswim to get paper.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna be paper trading. I'm gonna be using my live account on Tefs, but on Thinkorswim, I'm going to be paper trading the crossover play at the same time as I'm trading my real money account. So I got to exit out and put that up. So hold on.
All right. So you traders that are trading BPTH, I'm seeing a long-term kind of nice flag there, pre-market and yesterday. So what I want to see is the $6 pricing hold, maybe a nice little flush down at the open, and then it curling really strong and squeezing through that pricing. $7 is going to be a real important price for this stock. If you draw the trend line from 12 o'clock yesterday all the way down to where it is now, you'll be able to start seeing that bull flag drawn out, and it's holding support there at 6 consistently. Let's see if it makes a little drop here, holds 6, and then makes its way back up.
Let's see, we got paper. Yeah, sorry guys, the scanners will be back in just a second. Hold on. What?
AMRN has been making a great move on the bullish side. That one's pretty bull.
AMRN?
Yeah.
I'll have to go check that one. Wait. Alright. There we go. Alright, there we go. Somebody said, John, is there a maximum share size you can take for the 5 day trade net challenge? I'm not sure, to be honest. You want to reach out to them. I've never done the challenge. Uh, by the time I found out they actually had a challenge, it was too late. I had already bought a Tef's account, and so I've never actually done it, unfortunately. Let me look it up and see.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna find that answer. You would have to call, but I mean, my guess is you would be more than fine anywhere up to like 10,000 shares. Anything past that,
Right, but I think that would actually hurt you more than it would help you with the challenge, right? So because your goal is to reach a net profit of $500, you have to be active at least 3 out of the 5 trading days, and at least 2 of those days you have to have a net profit of $100 or higher. And so, I guess if you wanted to get like a really big gain in, and then try to
high.
get right, and then kind of take some baby trades after that, that may make sense. But
What I would say to that is, you can do. When I did it for a little while. I didn't have all 5 days, so I kind of rushed the end and wasn't able to complete it.
you got close though. I remember you got pretty
Yeah,
close.
I was really close. I got to in the 400s,
Yeah.
but what I would say is use like 2,000 shares. I felt like 2,000 to 3,000 shares. That's like the easy strike point where you can take 2 or 3 trades and you can make $500. So it's going to be relative to the stock itself, but I think that's where you got to kind of go at it if you want to do that 5 day challenge.
Right.
Somewhere in between there, 2,000, 3,000 shares. You don't have to take them all at once. If you can pay little commissions, you can take 1,000, then take another 1,000. But
Right.
you definitely have to take some swings if you want to get there.
Yeah, it's tough. That's the biggest thing I try to tell people. It's tough. Like I've known a few people that have actually done it though. Like since I've been doing the stream, like a few people have reached out to me like, hey, I actually did it. Like I got my free account today. So I know it's definitely possible. It's just tough, and that's the point of it. Is it's tough, but I mean it's free, and so it's worth a shot. I mean, it's free.
Yeah, why not? Take a shot.
All right. With that said, I might as well post the link here. I guess. Hold on, let me find it. But yeah, I mean it's free. I mean it's worth a shot. I mean especially like if you're thinking about using TradeNet or Tefs anyways, and you just want to kind of check out the platform, try it out for free. I think that that's useful there. So yeah, if anybody wants to check out the 5 day demo challenge on TradeNet, here you go. I'll post that here. That's the link right there for the 5 day demo. If anybody wants to give it a shot, see if you can win a free TradeNet account. You've looked it up and never got an answer from them. Yeah, the best thing to do is call them. I would call them and ask them. They're pretty good with answering their phones. Sometimes you might sit on hold, but you can call them and ask them for the most part. Oh, so you ever find your wallet, bro?
Oh no, I don't even want it.
That sucks, man. That's never fun. Never fun. What exactly does it mean if there is a big difference between the bid and the ask price? It just means the spread is big, Netron. A lot of times it could either be like a very low float stock that's like super volatile. Like typically the higher the price, the bigger the spread, but not necessarily that's not true 100% of the time. But also like the more volatility, the typically worse spread you're going to get, right? But like for instance, like a higher float stock, a lot of times they're going to have a much tighter spread. Just because there's so many shares available. Where it's like a low float, super volatile penny stock, it's going to have a little bit worse spread a lot of the times. But it all depends on a few different things, like the price of the stock, the float, the float of the stock, how volatile it is, stuff like that. All right. Two-way posted AVXL reported a publication of new data that shows Anavex 273, which induced cellular recycling process, was linked to the prevention and treatment of age-associated diseases. Float of 42 million. Appreciate it, two-way. Let's check out AVXL here. Yeah, that one doesn't look terrible. Look at the bid for RYN. All right, let's check RYN out. Yeah, I mean that one is just first off, it's pre-marketed, so the spread is going to be substantially worse, much worse than pre-market because the supply and demand is low. You know, the demand is low, I should say. But it's pre-market, so typically the spread is going to be terrible. That's why a lot of the times traders will wait until the opening bell to get in and out of their trades because the spread's typically going to be pretty poor in pre-market. It's also like, let's see. RYN. Let's look up the float of RYN. It might be like a small float stock as well. Let me see. Float's 128 million, and so about medium size. But yeah, I mean, right now it's just pre-market, and it's just choppy. Volume's low. Yeah, that was the 26. No, that was the 12 EMA and the 26 SMA. What's up, Orb Trader? What's up, brother? Yeah, we got somebody I played poker with in here. Yeah, I was playing poker with what's his name up there, and I saw his name on poker was Orb Trader, ORB Trader, and I sent him a message and I was like, "Hey, bro, I trade the opening range breakout, you know." And then I was like, "Hey, have you ever heard of beginner trading on YouTube?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, I've seen it." And we had a talk on poker, you know. He actually showed me how to look up my poker statistics, which I'm still using to this day, you know. So shout out to that guy.
You gotta play some poker, man.
Hey, dude, I'm telling you, man, poker's my first love, bro. It's my first love. Honestly, he showed me how to look up my stats, and they were pretty decent.
I always think poker is just, you know, you just gotta have that patience.
That's exactly what it is. You know,
it's a game. It's 100% a game of patience.
Right. That's exactly what it is. Like, you just have to wait for good hands. It's the number one thing people do wrong. You know, you want to play a certain range of hands, and you want to try to predict what range of hands and use that range of hands that your opponents may have in your favor. And so it's like, if they call from the big blind, usually they're gonna have a pretty, you know, poor range, a pretty small range, just because there's already money in the pot, right? But if they raise from under the gun, usually they're going to have a stronger range. It's kind of poker jargon, but basically, if you have to call, if it's less to call and somebody calls, their range is typically smaller. It's kind of it's hard to explain. But
it's a game of odds.
For sure.
Just like trading is. That's all we do is we find the strategy that has the odds in our advantage.
Right.
And we play the edge.
Absolutely, man. Like, odds are, like, you know, risk reward ratios are in trading or in poker. It's actually very similar to trading in general. You know, you calculate risk reward, you calculate you know, chances of winning, percentages, you know, stuff like that. So it's very similar. Netron. No, I don't think they're watching this, man. I think that it's just pre-market, and the closer we get to the bell, the more, you know, people are going to start watching it. The spread may start to tighten out as closer we get to the bell, and then once the bell rings, the spread will be a lot better. I think it's just pre-market right now, and because of that, it's kind of spready. Yeah, email it to me, two-way. I'll take a look at it, bro. You know my email, beginnertrading@gmail.com. But yeah, I'll take a look at it for sure. Create a Discord group for poker and we can discuss our hands. Yeah, I mean, like Mitch said, it's really patience. It's all poker is. It's patience, and you got to kind of put your pride aside in poker. You know, like, you can't just call because the guy made you mad. You know, you got to just wait for good hands and wait for playable hands and good spots. You know, if you try to play every hand, most of the time you're going to lose. All right, guys. Well, we got about 7 minutes left. 7 minutes. Let's do this. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Mitch, check it out. Put the 12 EMA in the 26 SMA on your chart, Mitch. I'm serious. It. I was skeptical of not all moving averages, but a lot of moving averages plays I was skeptical of just because I've never really had good luck with them before. But this one looks pretty decent, at least.
I'll definitely have to take a look at it, especially for my long plays, kind of my bull flag plays.
Right, for sure. It actually does a pretty good job of anticipating like the trend change. You see the crossover. Uh, it kind of signifies a trend change, and so it works. And then, like I said earlier, like as they're spread out more and more apart, that kind of signifies it picking a trend. When they start to get closer together, that means that consolidation, maybe trend change is about to happen. We got a few new subs today as well, so appreciate the new subs. Sun, Miller, DJ. I've got some crazy comments in the last few days, guys. I really have. One guy told me this morning, he said half and whole dollars don't work on stocks under $10. And it's not even what he said, it's just like the broadness of that. That's like me saying triangles don't work on stocks under $10. It's like, yeah, I mean, they might, on some stocks that might be true, but you can't just say every stock under $10, half and whole dollars doesn't work. Just some strange comments. Right, for sure. Right, 2A, how dumb is that, man? I'm sitting there like, all right, bro. Like, you're going to say it doesn't work on all stocks under $10? Come on now. Like, that's just naive thinking. Right, for sure. All right, so let's get everything set up here. Little baby triangles, Levi. All right, let's get this go up. All right, guys, we're gonna start getting ready here. I got so many of these up. All right, there we go. There we go. Let's see. I think I should look good here. Yep. All right. We are all set. But yeah, this is basically the crossover play I was thinking of, though. Let's see. Please be here, studies. Oh, I don't have any studies saved here. Okay, let's see. Simple. All right, guys, we got about 3.5 minutes. I can't remember what color I had these now. Okay, I'm going to have to look at my PowerPoint probably. I want to say blue was the EMA. Yeah, that's right. Or no, blue was the SMA. All right. No, I think that's wrong, actually. Blue over white equals bear. Alright, I got these backwards. Alright. Simple as white. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna have to save this now. Alright, guys, we got about 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. Alright, guys, let's do it. Alright, we got about 2 minutes. I'm laughing at Lucas's comment. He said trend lines are funded by George Soros and pretty much confirm the existence of aliens. If that's not a conspiracy theory, I've never heard one, man. All right, let's do it, guys. So we got AMD on watch. Like I said, gonna be watching CIFS here, CIFS, Cron. CGC. NIO looks pretty decent. NIO up a decent amount. Gonna watch NIO for sure. Let's see what else. CIFS. What was the other one I was watching today, guys? Man, I gotta find my watch list.
All right, I'm seeing MU drop a little bit here. I'm back, finishing up a little donut here.
Hey, man, enjoy it, bro.
Yeah, Voodoo Donuts, man.
Yeah.
These things are legendary.
What kind of donuts?
Voodoo.
Oh, Mary Lee for life, bro. I'm on Team Mary Lee, man. Mary Lee donuts. I don't know if you've ever had Mary Lee donuts, but Mary Lee donuts are fire, man. That and Krispy Kreme. You know, Krispy Kreme donuts are the best.
You can't go wrong with Krispy Kreme.
Right. Those are the GOAT donuts, really. All right, guys. We got 10 seconds. Let's do it, guys. Good luck. Good luck. Big drop for Cron. Some of the candidates plays. There's the bell. Like I said, I'm going to get this active trader out here so I can paper trade on...
All right, guys. I'm seeing MU make a nice
Big drop there. Big drop on MU, guys.
Yeah, we get a big spike on AMD, a big pullback on Cron here. NIO being a little slow this morning.
AMRN down there.
Is my screen frozen on NIO? What's going on here? Let me check out active. Oh, it's on moderate settings.
MU not going to the VWAP there. I was looking to get in there at 78, put an order out there. It just missed me by, I think, 1 or 2 cents and went right back down.
All right, big drop on NIO. Are we getting a crossover here for AMD? Let's see. Let's see. So right now it looks like the crossover blue over white. That usually signifies down. Too early to tell, though. I don't want to take it right out the gate. I'd rather wait and let it kind of form a little bit here. We got NIO with a nice drop, though. Going to be looking for a pullback on NIO.
Looking at AMRN here.
RKDA, big drop as well.
Trying to get in here at 17 here. Ah, come on. You didn't feel me? No fill there. Would have been nice on AMRN. I would already have 17 cents. Tried to get in there at 22.17 off 22.30. Would be taking some off there at 22. Looking for this move right here down to the 88s. Boom. Would have been a great hit there. Great trade. Just didn't get in there. Had my order out there sitting at 22.17. Now it's already down to 83s.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at NIO here. Don't stress it, though, brother.
No, that's not that bad. I mean, I can't be mad about that. I really did. I was dead on it. It just never failed me.
It's still early. We got
ACB coming back to the VWAP.
Look at NIO, bro. NIO doesn't look terrible.
I'm liking MU here up at the 60s.
All right, so the SPY originally pushed up some at the open. It's starting to kind of test the lows here. And so I'm watching NIO. I'd like a little bit better risk to reward here. I mean, I could use the high of the day at 38 as my risk, but I really don't like doing that. So I'd like it to drop a little bit here. Maybe use 35 as my risk. If it can drop a little bit, and then set 10-10 as my reward target.
Yeah, AMRN was the one, man. Already down there, pushing down there to 75s. Would have been a good 30-cent winner.
Yeah, that thing is dropping. I mean, it's still, you could still look at a fade here. 22.20 as your risk, 22.10 entry, 21.80 as your reward target. Tight risk.
Looking at KNDI here in the 15s.
KNDI is now tradable, isn't it, for us?
It is.
I think so, right? Yep.
Yep.
All right, are we going to get a crossover here for AMD? Let's see. I'm watching for it. Oh, sorry.
All right, I got a starter there on KNDI here. There you go. Fully in there. Risking off at 820s.
On KNDI? Here, let me look at that one. Hold on. All right, I'm looking at NIO here. We'll see what we get if it pulls back. If it gets up to 27, I could use 35 as a risk. So 7-cent risk, and then from 27 down to maybe 10.10. So I'm looking at, I'm going to try to up the sizing a little bit today, go with 400 shares on NIO.
All right. I'm taking 500 off here, guys.
All right, so we did get a crossover here. Oh, wait, it's working out for KNDI? Sorry, brother. Here, let me...
No, it's okay. It's all good.
Beautiful fade there, bro.
Always, guys. $38 sitting at 73. Let me take 300 off here, or 200 off here.
Look at that fade for Mitch, man. That's a beautiful one so far.
All right, now I have 300 shares left, guys. I already got $67, $67.20 already.
All right, so I just jumped in with 300 shares of NIO. Risk is 10.35. Reward target is 10.10 at the previous low of the day. But man, that was a beautiful follow through for KNDI, bro.
There you go, down there to 94s for a second there. I'm looking to add my shares back here at 810, and I can risk off of that 815 area, somewhere right there, 810, 811, if it comes back up.
And honestly, we did get a crossover play for AMD. It did work. Crossed over and broke down nicely. That was a nice follow through for KNDI. I'm still kind of watching that one. All right, so we get a little bit of a pullback for NIO here. Here, let me pull up NIO on my screen. I just realized it's not pulled up. So I'm in NIO here, short. Looking for at 10.35 risk. See if we get a breakdown here.
Trying to get this to crash underneath 8 and stay underneath 8. If it stays underneath 8, it can come down all the way to maybe 650 even today.
Mitch is in this one. Here, let me pull you up. There we go. Mitch is in KNDI here. Nice little washout. I'm going to take... I was about to take some off with this drop, but it pulled back a little bit too quick.
There you go, down to 93s there. All right, so I have my order out there to increase at 814. 2 orders out there, 300 shares each. Just trying to put weight down on the stock, get it down underneath 90 here.
All right, there's 18s. I'm going to hold this and let it work to 10.10 and try to be a little bit more strict with my profit target. All right, there's 18s. Let's see if we can get a move back down to 10.10. But yeah, that was a beautiful follow through for RKDA, or for KNDI though. Just a quick, nice follow through back down.
Exactly. So now what we're gonna see if these 8s really want to hold.
All right, we're back down to 19s. Let's see if we get a nice push back down here. It's kind of, whoa, beautiful. All right, quick drop all the way down to that low. I just took half off. Gonna let the rest work. Beautiful drop though. Beautiful quick move back down there. All right, so we're down to 15s, 14s. How's yours going, man? What's your entry on yours, Mitch?
I got 812s.
Nice.
812s, guys.
Nice entry.
812.6, so almost 813s. I hit it when it was in the spread between 812 and 814.
All right, we got a quick push down here for NIO, a quick move down, and then a quick bounce back. But honestly, it was a nice follow through. It went right down to that low of the day where my profit target was. It just bounced a little bit too quickly for me to take advantage.
All right, guys, got to be careful here. I see a big order going through there, 41,000 shares at 803. So now we got to protect. We're going to hold to that 815 with the rest of our shares. We cancel our ad for this moment right now. If it just slams through 8, then we got no problem.
Like I said, Mitch is on K and DI up here, guys. K and DI. All right, we're going to bounce back here. I'm going to let it work a little while here, but obviously don't want to see this bounce back. Probably keep the rest for a 21 risk level. Let the rest work up to 21. We'll see. It still looks pretty bearish, but kind of acting a little strange, at least on Thinkorswim charting so far. I think Thinkorswim charting's been a little bit off this morning.
It's not wanting to break here, guys, so you got to watch out for a bounce here.
There's 15.
Especially with those amount of shares that went through at 803. Got to be careful. The out right now, you can draw a nice trend line from these these highs, and it goes right to our average pricing, 812s, 813. So right now we're gonna risk right up to that 815. We're trying to see if the 8s can hold here and it just get knocked through this 795. Right now we have realized 67.20, unrealized 37. Just letting the stock work. I have 300 shares.
Nice job, brother. Yeah, I'm in NIO as well. Beautiful little follow through fade on NIO. It's just kind of consolidating down here. I want to see it break these lows of the day. I'm holding half of my original position, 150 shares left. I originally took 300. And so I'm just going to let the rest work, see if we get the breakdown under the low of the day. If it bounces back over 21, I'll just get out for a small win. But hopefully we get that breakdown. CGC is also pulling back to the VWAP as well. It doesn't look like a terrible fade. Let's see if we get that move underneath for you, though. Looks to be holding some resistance at 8 for you.
Yep. If it breaks 795, we should get a nice little follow through here. So all you can do is just give yourself the opportunity for it to break there.
Right.
All right, some volume coming through here at 8. Got to be careful. We want it to push down, not collect so much here where it can pull up and rip through. So now the good thing is that if our 12 would be kind of starting to get out of the geometrical pattern, so we're right there. We can hold right to our break-even rate. We can add anywhere up to 815, but our risk needs to be up to 817 if we do an add on this position. It's one of the key things I've been trying to get better at is taking profits at the lows and adding my shares right back at the highs. It takes a little bit more cojones, as they would say.
Yeah, for sure.
But you got to adjust. You always have to try to keep growing as a trader. You learn a skill, you try to work on another skill.
All right, NIO testing the lows now. It's at 1010. We really want to see this break here. Like to see some volume come in and it really break these lows here. Get down for a $10 reward target on the rest 150 shares. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
No, you're good, brother.
But yeah, it's testing these lows now for NIO. You can see it's down there at 1010. We really want to see a low of the day break. If it bounces, it's probably going to bounce right here, but we want to see a break and a move back down to the whole dollar of 10. That's what we're looking at now. Currently up $36. Looking for it to continue to push down, though. Yeah, mine's being a little laggy as well, Robert, I think. I think Mitch and I are both kind of in some. It's kind of the make or break level for both of us.
The
There you
weight.
go. That's a nice move.
There's the
For yours.
weight. Let's see it.
NIO's really trying to break here, too.
ACB, beautiful VWAP fade.
Yeah, CGC was pulling back there, too. I was watching that one. So some of the cannabis plays.
EPHA, VWAP reject, MBEV. Just kind of holding in between a little range there.
Dude, NIO has literally consolidated back and
down
forth.
to the 91s for me.
There you go. Nice move, brother. There's 9s. There we go. We got an 09. Like I said, I'm going to look for $10, $10 break. A lot of times NIO will kind of fake you out here, though. It'll push back down to the lows, pop right back up to the highs. And so it's down to 10.09. Like I said, the goal is $10. I'm looking for $10. That's my reward target on the rest. Down to 10.08. Seven looks good. Let it hold a little bit longer. 06.
All right, guys. Took 150 shares off there at 788. 788.
Beautiful. Down to 10.02. I'm going to get out the rest here for a $50 gain, essentially. Got out the rest a little bit early relative to that $10 target, but it got exactly what, basically exactly what I was looking for there. Got about 2 cents off. Was looking to get out the rest at 10, but a beautiful fade. Sorry, Mitch. What's up, bro?
No, not bad, man. Just took off another 150 shares.
I could throw you
at
up.
788. So now I only got 150 shares left, but I already have $103 realized for the day. Time to relax and let the trade do the work here.
I'll throw you up just so people could see really quick. There we go. There's Mitch.
All right, guys. You see how it's been holding this kind of trend? We don't really want it to collect too much when it collects here at 8. Our entry is all the way up here to 812s. We can hold up to that limit now and just hold the rest. Or we can add somewhere here at 810 and hold break even on the rest. There's nothing wrong with that. There's one thing I want to teach you guys is that when you have 150 shares left and you're okay with your realized already, like I'm okay if I just make $100 for the rest of the day. So with that being said, if I go ahead and add, let's say at 806, and my average comes down to, let's say 808, and then I risk only 2 cents, even if I lose like $10, $20 on a trade,
You're still
that
good.
I can potentially make another $30 or $60. I have no problem in doing that.
Right.
But we always try to set ourselves up with the risk and reward. And if you're already in the green, there's no point. The VWAP fade is supposed to be used and intended to increase risk when working.
Exactly. Nice job, brother. So what's your target on the rest?
So my target on the neck is going to be, I'm trying to get it to go to start making some moves to the daily lows. I can see it going to 741, 750.
For sure.
So it kind of needs to get this next ramp up. I do think it could make a move here to the VWAP. And that's why we got to be careful, because it was very pattern-like move on these first moves. And usually you get these kind of 3 moves down. You got a 1, 2, that 3. Now that has that inverse hammer. We got to be careful with the rest here. It's fine to add up to 806, but I think the maximum risk here should be 810. It shouldn't get above 810 here.
Right. I like that area. I might pull you down, brother, and I was, just let me know when it starts to move. I'll throw you back up.
Yeah, I'm looking at solo right here for VWAP reject, but that's a low volume stock.
I gotta. Sorry, brother. Solo, you said?
Yeah, solo. VWAP reject, but that's low volume.
Okay, I'm just watching AMD for a VWAP crossover. Um, and look at that. See, I almost got out exactly at the lows here for NIO. Almost exactly at the low. I got out at 10:02, I think. Let's see. I entered at 10:24, which was a great entry for me, I think. And got out pretty close to the lows. It's like you said, though. The VWAP fade's one of those ones where if you have enough cojones, you can add back at the VWAP. You can try to add it back at the VWAP. You've already got some money in the bank and kind of approach it that route. But since I'm still just watching for the crossover on AMD, I can pull you back up, man, until we see the crossover. Oh wait, hold on, let me see. SPY's starting to drop here, and so.
All right.
Let me catch back up on the chat sub.
I'm looking at AMD and MU. AMD's holding strong there, but I feel like it's just a rising wedge. We talked about these in one of our recent class, the rising wedge. You're seeing it clear there, and I'm seeing MU starting to look a little weak. If it can get back above 42, yeah, it'll be strong, but underneath here through the 80s, it can get underneath that VWAP.
On MU?
Yep. I'm just looking around for them and relaxing. One of the key things is once you're in the money and the green, then one of the best things is to just relax.
Right.
You already made money. The trade is going to be green.
The hard part's over.
Yeah. If it comes back, it comes back. If it doesn't, you just let it keep going. So that the ad here would be in the 805s, 806, and then the risk would have to come about 6 cents. So it's 6 cents spread. So down 3 cents from 12, which would be 809.
Well, what's the name of the stock you're in? Sorry, I keep forgetting. It's a
KNDI.
KNDI, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah, one of the big movers recently.
Yeah, I remember KNDI. It's a Chinese electric car manufacturer, right? Something like that.
Yeah, it was an electronic car, I believe.
ACB fading. A lot of people bringing up ACB right now in the chat.
Yeah, ACB's on the super fade.
Wow. Yeah.
It just looks really nice. It's not even that big of a range, but it looks really, really nice.
Right. I mean, AMD or ACB always had a tiny range, but I mean, it's still pretty. It still moves a decent amount. Like you just have to take a little bit larger share size with it, but it still moves for the most part. I always watch ACB, APHA, CGC, CRON, kind of keep the cannabis stocks on watch. All right, AMD pulling down here. I'm gonna start looking for that crossover move as we get this pull down. What's up, Focus? Hey, welcome, brother. Welcome, man.
All right. Want to really pay attention to that 803 mark. There we got a lot of volume to come in earlier in the stock. Don't want to see a re-add in that spot.
Yeah, that just threw you up. Hold on one second. Let me add something to my chart real quick. And then,
You're good. You're good. I'm just hanging out now.
Okay. All right, I'm watching AMD for this crossover play. The crossovers look really interesting. I'm going to paper trade it for at least a few weeks first, but it looks interesting. KNDI, back up there to the VWAP.
Be careful, guys. Here's up to 808. Going to stick to 812s right now. If it pushes past my limit, then let it go. But if it just rejects hard here at 806, that's perfect.
Right.
We'll try to slam on it through the 8s.
Because it looks like a good fade right now, honestly. Like it looks like a fade. There it goes.
Now I put my short out there at 806. I'm willing to add my shares back here at 806, guys. If I do get filled, my stop will be 809 or 810,
Yeah, I could
depending
throw
on
you.
my average.
While I'm waiting for the crossover, I could throw you up and just let people watch you. Hold on. RKDA is acting crazy. Yeah, I don't think RKDA is tradable for me, but it's moving down for sure, breaking lows there.
No shares filling at 806. All right, got a bounce there. I canceled my ad there. Looking for this ad here.
I think we're probably going to get a crossover here on AMD. There you go.
Yep. Should have got my ad there.
All right, here I'm going to
I
pull
had
up.
it split between 805 and 806. I could have marketed on 805, but I've been trying to be particular with this 806.
All right, so like I said, guys, I'm testing the moving average crossover. It looks like we are getting a cross here on AMD. And so, like I said, this is just paper. I'm going to test it with 500 shares. We did get a crossover there. I just got in on the cross. We'll see if it works out. Like I said, it's just a testing thing. This isn't real money. This is just paper money. I'm just testing the crossover that it looked like we got. Maybe I jumped in a little early before the crossover. But we'll see. It looked to be crossing some. At least touching it some. So we'll see what we get.
All right, guys, don't want this past 810s here. 810s. So if I do get my ad, I'll watch it. Don't want it to pass through that 810 there. I'm going to try to see if I can get an 808 fill here.
Here's 807.
I got to go back to 806. Keeps doing this in between spread thing. And that's when you got to like use your limit order to make sure you're going to get the best price, because there's no point in getting the bottom of this 803 right now.
Right.
Kind of kill your average real quick. So I'm just going to hold on right now as it's pushing up there. Don't want it to get above this 810 here. This would be the time when you could slam it.
There you go. We just got pushed down to 806.
Got it, guys.
You got the ad?
Yep, the ad's on there. 808, risking the 810 here, guys. Don't want it above 810. So I see 808, 11s get filled, and I'm out. I'm going to risk 3 cents on this.
Not bad. Here, I'm going to pull you up here. This is just a paper trade, so I can let it work. But if you're actually doing stuff on yours, I'm going to throw you up here.
So this is essentially what we're holding to right here. You don't want it to come back to 811s here. You got to be real quick on this, on both sides here. So now I'm back into pre-tech mode like I just got in the trade. When this back to 8. If this can go back to 8, it can crack again and get back down through the 790s.
ACB's back up there to the VWAP too. Like right up to the VWAP now.
There you go. Good action there, actually.
Oh, it's short on the crossover chase. Sorry, brother. It's short. So whenever the short term crosses under the long term, it usually means short, and whenever the long term crosses under the short term, it means long. And so on my chart, it's when the blue line crosses under the white line. And here, I'll pull you right back up in a minute, Mitch. But look how accurate this is. I'm telling you. Look, that's a
Boom,
nice
there you
drop for
go.
you. Beautiful. Nice ad, brother.
All right, so now what we do is at 808, we increase size here. We want to put pressure on that if it fills us again at our rate, we're okay taking this risk now. Now that we see the trade working for us, I'm willing to add another 350 shares there at 808.
Beautiful move, man. Nice follow through. But no,
Put
this
some
was
pressure on here and try to get it back down through the eights.
AMD actually dropped really nicely for the crossover as well. So honestly, it's pretty accurate. Even if, it dropped down to 93, so you could have taken profits already, but very interesting strategy here for the crossover. Oh, for people asking me which crossover it is, it's the 12 EMA and the 26 SMA. So the 12 exponential moving average crossing over or under the 26 simple moving average. Casey's the one that kind of told us about it. But as you can see here, it's pretty accurate. I'm going to just pull you down for a second. I'll throw you right back up, Mitch.
Yeah, you're good, bro.
So this is it right here. So you can see on AMD, the blue crossed under white, and that signifies, let me see, blue cross under white means bearish move. And what do we get right after that cross? We get a big drop here. And so pretty accurate, And then you can really essentially hold it until it crosses back over. It's just a test. It's just a paper trade, but very interesting kind of strategy thus far. All right, I'll pull Mitch back up.
All right, I see a big bid on 8 on EdgeX. That's usually from a nice quick seller. So what we're gonna do is we're looking for this 807 to really hold. 810 is still our risk right now. Looking for this pattern to fulfill here.
Yeah, AMD back down to 92s. And honestly, it's surprisingly accurate. I got to show you guys this now. So look how accurate this is. Look at this. So we get the crossover, and look at the drop. We get an immediate drop back down. It's surprisingly accurate. Like, we get the crossover here. Like, this is the crossover right here. And what happens after that crossover? We get a nice drop down. And so, beautiful follow through here for it. Here, I'm going to put Mitch back up. Mitch is back up now. But yeah, really interesting strategy. Something I'm going to continue testing for sure.
Yeah, ACB back to the VWAP there. APHA went above it, right below it. All right, guys, got to hold tight here. Don't want this to get volume up through the 808s. Would like to see it reject here, get through this 8 pricing. We want to see the pressure get right back on 8 and get right back to 790s here. Here it goes, a little pressure down. Let's see if we can get that move to get through these 802s and through these 8s.
So now we're at the low of the day. I'm going to take the rest off of this one really quick just so you guys can see. I'm going to take half off here at the low of the day. All right, so I just took half off. Just going to let the rest, the other 200 shares work here. See if we can break the lows. Keep
Nice.
this back
Which
up
one are you
here.
doing?
Huh?
Which one are you trading?
I traded I'm paper trading the AMD moving
Nice.
average crossover.
Perfect. I could see it on there.
Yeah, it worked beautifully, man.
I
Really
mean, I
nice.
could see it, the crossover perfectly over there at 24s, near the 24s. Where
Right,
you
just
get-
above 24 is when it happened.
Yep. You
just
can
above
see it
24.
clearly. I mean, it shows that you're not the only trader taking that trade.
Right, for sure. And Joe Chilla says, does that strategy work long as well? Right, and so the way I have it, I have for the blue line on my chart, that is I think it's the 12 EMA. Yeah, so the blue line on my chart is the 12 EMA. When that crosses under the 26 SMA, it's a bearish move or a short move. If the 26 SMA crosses under the 12 EMA, then it's a long move. And so whichever, depending on which one crosses over which, is going to signify which direction to take the trade.
All right, guys, getting a push here. It's up there at 807. Got to not let it get past this 810 here, guys. 810 will signal strength. The real key that I said was I didn't want to see volume getting filled up at the 808s. We see some volume going through there at 805 and 806. So we need to pay attention to this. Make sure this is not going to squeeze here through this 810 here. There's the 810. Got to make sure that it doesn't get filled up. Quick reject will look good if it gets to 8.
Yeah, you got to be careful here.
You just got to watch out. So now the pattern would break if it holds 810 here.
There we go. Let's see if we can get the spread to follow through with that.
No big volume filling at 808. I saw some volume at 807. Here comes some 808s. Let's pay attention to these 808s.
Yeah.
There it is, and we out.
Good trade regardless, man.
I'll go in between the spread, but with TEFs, we have to mark it out here. So I'll just take that market out. I won't be mad at the trade at all.
Yeah, nice work, brother.
I'll take my 87.50 and know that I gave myself a chance.
Yeah.
Now, eventually, there's going to be a time where I know I can flip this kind of trade. Now the momentum's back in this stock, and seeing this daily chart, this is a bullish stock. So let's see what happens to it. For you bullish traders, you guys can keep an eye on it for the rest of the day.
Right.
That's going to be it for me. Coming in, knocking it out.
Good job.
1 for 1. I'll take that $87 and go enjoy my day. It's my day off. I might do a little afternoon trading if I don't wander off somewhere in the mountains. We'll see.
Good work, brother. Nice trade, man.
All right, guys. You guys take care. Looks like KNDI got out at the right time.
Yeah, bro. It looked like it was squeezing up.
Jumping in there, guys. You guys can look for this one for like a red to green move. And look what happens here. Look at it on the 5-minute. It's making its move back up there. I think it's going to make a move, push here to 26. But it's going to be interesting. Let's see what happens. Definitely has the volume for it. So.
Yeah, you definitely got out of KNDI at the right time, man. That one's squeezing up. That one's about to break the high of the day. Or it just did break the high. So good trade, good exit, bro. Nice job, brother.
All right, you guys have a great one. Take care.
Guys. Later, bro. All right, so yeah, so you can see, guys, here, you can see here that the moving average crossover, it was pretty decent here. I mean, like I said, this is the moving average crossover. This is where it happens right here. And right after that, of course, it was blue crossing under the white line, and that signifies a downward or bearish move. And what do we get? We get a big, nice downward move, testing the lows of the day. And yeah, so far so good with this one. I mean, it's, like I said, it's one of those ones where I'm going to keep paper trading it and see what we can get from it. I've already taken some profits, but overall it seems to be pretty reliable. Yeah, nice job, Mitch. Good trade, brother. It really was. Like, Mitch's trade today on KNDI, it's one of those trades where it's immediately green. You're immediately green in the trade. And those are always my favorite ones. And it just followed through really, really well. Kind of pulled up to test the VWAP, but broke down really nicely. And, it was a good trade for sure. NIO doing the same. Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty happy with where I got out of NIO as well. I got out of NIO at 10.02, 10.03, and its low of the day was 10.01. So literally 1 cent is where I only missed out on 1 cent at the lows. And so definitely happy with that. As I'm saying that, look at AMD here. So moving average crossover is the paper trade for now on this one. And look at it break down here. Really nice breakdown, really nice crossover play on AMD. And it kind of, it confirms the the data we've been seeing from this strategy, just that it's super reliable, pretty accurate. Whenever it doesn't work, you can usually just hold it until it crosses back over again. And so when you do that, that's going to give you a pretty tight risk most of the time, as long as you can hold it a decent amount when it does follow through and maintain the correct trend for you. But overall, it seems to be working fairly well. And so, like I said, shout out to Casey. Mitch did well. Mitch made just a little under $90 on the day on KNDI Netron. But here we go. So here's AMD breaking down again here. Breaking down under the lows. So far, so good with this. You know, it's one of those things where the only tough thing about this one, and the only thing I really have to kind of draw out and test here, is how to back test the moving average crossover. You know, for like Mitch was talking about earlier, when you back test, you have to have a very specific, you know, concrete success and failure level so you can actually test it. With this, it's going to be kind of tough to get an exact success and failure level. You know, you could do until it crosses back over, but sometimes you're going to miss out on some opportunities with those. Or you could do, you know, a percentage reward target, which is what I'm starting to think would be probably beneficial, is use a percentage reward target. But overall, look at AMD. It's breaking down really nicely, kind of following with that overall crossover action that we get. And as I said, you know, the farther these spread out from each other, the more defined the trend is, right? So you can see these moving averages kind of spread out away from each other. That usually means that it's in a pretty defined trend the farther apart they get. As they start to get closer and closer to each other, that's when it's consolidating more, and that's ultimately where you got to be careful because it may start to attempt to cross back over. And that's when you have to get out. But while it's maintaining a lot of distance in between these moving averages, at least from what I've seen, that usually signifies a very strong trend, in this case a downward trend. And so overall, I'm liking what I see with this strategy thus far, for sure. James says, what are your settings in your daily SMA, bro? I'm having a hard time getting that one set back up correctly. My settings are, it's the 26 simple moving average and the 12 exponential moving average. So the 26 SMA and the 12 EMA. Scaled down my size paper trading, getting ready to do real money next week, maybe. Paper trading with $500 size and only 3 trades to simulate real money. I mean, that's a good way to do it, Andrew. The biggest thing, brother, that I always try to tell people is that even if you try to emulate real money exactly, it's still going to be completely different because your emotions are going to be completely different. That's the hardest part. And so I love paper trading. I think paper trading is definitely useful if you are like testing strategies, testing, you know, plans and calculating risk reward. But just as long as you understand when you do use real money, it's going to be completely different because you're actually going to have, you're going to be invested. Your emotions are going to be in there and it's going to be a lot tougher. But overall, I think the way you're doing it is the smart way to do it. Just, I guess all I'm trying to say is when you do use real money, just try to keep yourself as calm as possible and just try to stick with the plan. Give yourself a plan to follow and then really kind of stick to that plan because that's going to give you organization in the trade and ultimately help you kind of curb your emotions a little bit. AMD breaking down really nicely. Right, there's no emotions to me for paper trading either. That's what I'm saying. When you use real money, it's going to be completely different, you know, because your emotions are going to be different. You're going to execute the trade differently when you're using real money, and it's just a lot tougher overall. All right, so we got a nice little breakdown here. I'm just going to go ahead and take some more off and leave this last little 100 shares to work. Overall, beautiful example though. We'll see what we get. This moving average strategy seems pretty decent overall. Yeah, man. Honestly, CBD really helps me. I will give CBD credit. CBD is super helpful to me. You know, it probably lowers my blood pressure a little bit and helps me stay a little bit calmer in the trades and helps me just be a little bit more relaxed. But yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely prefer CBD over nicotine. And yeah, guys, it's been like 2 weeks since I quit smoking nicotine and doing well, man. I feel good. I've been eating a lot more. I can smell better. And overall, it's definitely been good, man. I've been 2 weeks, no nicotine. So, And honestly, like I said, I got to give credit to CBD. CBD really helps. If I feel like I need to kind of do the gesture of smoking, then CBD helps for sure. On Thinkorswim, they're under moving averages, Jason. One of them is this, the simple. I think just says simple moving average, and then the exponential says moving average exponential. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, man, it was something like I've been smoking since I was 15, so I've been smoking for like 15 years, and just a long time, and it feels really good to quit. I don't even notice any difference. It was really actually pretty easy. I don't want to downplay it, but with CBD and kind of other stuff, it was actually very easy to do. I didn't actually smoke cigarettes. Like, I never smoked cigarettes. It was just those vapes, those nicotine vapes. But the problem with those vapes is that, yeah, they're probably a little bit better for you than actual cigarettes are. But the problem is that you can smoke them, you can vape them inside. And so even though they're better for you, you're going to ultimately use those vapes much more than you would use a cigarette. So it's like when I smoke cigarettes, I might smoke like 5-6 cigarettes a day, maybe like 10 cigarettes a day. When I'm using those nicotine vapes, I'm using that thing all day, constantly. And so it's like, yeah, they're a little bit better for you, but ultimately you're going to use them much more than real cigarettes. And while we're sitting here waiting, guys, so everybody go check out the website. Like I said, this is a strategy that we learned from one of our members. And like I say, I always try to keep beginner trading kind of like a crowdsourced, thing where we all share ideas and share trade ideas. And again, shout out to Casey for it. But yeah, go check out our site. We have a ton of content for our members here, and we're the only people that aren't trying to act like gurus or anything like that. But we literally have over 50 hours of content, so literal days of content on our site. And it's only $15 a month, and you get access to over 50 hours of content. Plus, here, let me put the password in here. Plus, not only that, but we have 3 live classes each week. So 3 live classes a week. And like I said, it's just a ton of content. 3 live classes plus 50 plus hours. At this point, it's probably 55, 60 hours of content. So literal days of content on our site. And so, again, it's only $15 a month, so it's super cheap. And if you want to help support the channel, if you're thinking about ways to support the channel, that's one of the ways to do it. But hold on. I pulled up the wrong thing here. That's one of the ways to do it. And again, you can just see how much content we have. We have understanding triangles. We have understanding VWAP, backtesting, setting up your trading screen, using support and resistance, trading gaps, ranges, following the market. We just got a lot of content here. You can see how much content we have. Just tons of content, hours and hours of it. And so again, if you want to help support the channel, this is one of the good ways to do it. We have trading psychology night that Mitch holds every night about, kind of the nuances of the emotional side of trading and psychology and trading. We have a bunch of classes on that. We have risk reward if you're looking to learn how to calculate risk reward the way we do. And so just a lot of content, guys. And again, we have 3 live classes every week. And so go check it out. I'll post the link if you're interested in checking that out. And I think it's pretty cheap. I mean, compared to the thousands everybody else is charging for day trading content, I think we have more content than everybody else, and I think we are substantially cheaper than anybody else in the day trading world. And so go check it out. Just posted the link there if anybody's interested in seeing it. So if you appreciate this content, go check out that link. All right, so we're getting a move back up. I think I'm just going to get out of this here. Getting a bounce back up here. The VWAP's way too high for that, and overall, probably going to get out here. And this is something we went over, this exact strategy, the moving average crossover. It's something we went over yesterday in class. We had a class on this. And so you want to join us for those classes every week, go check them out. But yeah, I'll probably end up getting out here. I think this is a reasonable exit just to finish the trade. $60 gain on my paper trade on AMD and about a $50 gain on the VWAP fade I took on NIO today. So overall, a decent day. Trading's been going pretty pretty well overall, honestly, in the market lately. Been going pretty well. Just got to scale up a little bit and continue to increase size. So let's look at it on a few other ones. I'm going to throw these moving averages up, and we can kind of look to see about a moving average cross on some of these other ones. Here's NIO. All right, and so if the blue crosses under the white, it could be a decent crossover move. Jason says, I've said it before, I will say it again. The classes are basically free. You literally can't for a month for that price, plus it's a great community. Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, that's our goal. People hate on us for doing the classes, but like you guys can see, like if I stick to my strategy, we're pretty consistent in trading. Like last week, I ended it slightly green. The week before, I was green. Accuracy's been pretty high lately overall. Yeah, Nedtron, I'm paper trading the crossover strategy on AMD. So it's a strategy we went over yesterday. I'm not going to use live money for the crossover play, but I used real money today on TEFs. Like my NIO trade was live money. My AMD trade was paper money, just because I'm testing it more than anything. I know Tech from the chat is trying his 5-day challenge here. He said he got his first trade green. Nice work, brother. Congrats, man. You're doing it, brother. You're doing it, man. I hope you win, man. Let's see Tech win his free TradeNet account. All right, James. Have a good day, brother. You as well, brother. You as well, man. And like I said, if anybody wants to try out the 5-day demo challenge on TradeNet, where you can try to win a free TEFs account, free funded account on TradeNet, a free intro account, let me know. I can post that link here if anybody wants to check that out. So yeah, if anybody wants to try to win a free TEFs and TradeNet account here, you can go check out that link. It's the 5-day challenge. I will preface this with it's extremely tough to actually do successfully. But, you know, it seems to be, it's completely free, and so it's worth a shot in my opinion. I mean, it's extremely tough, but it's free. And so, I mean, you could try to win a free account. You can get used to their software, test out their platform a little bit, and see how you like their platform for free. And so I think just for the fact that it's free, it's decent. Was starting at BBY with what you are back testing pulled up, and it would have worked out really well. You mean the moving average crossover, Chase? Yeah, look, you can even see one maybe here on AMD. White crosses over blue. That signifies a long move. And so right here, we may get another one. Only problem is it kind of looks like a fade. What's up, Insurance? What's up, brother? I mean, it looks like, I'm going to just test it here with 100 shares, or I guess I could use 200. Or 300, just to see here. We got another crossover here. I'm just going to hold it until it crosses back under. But this is just a paper trade with 300 shares. But just going to test it. We get a little bit of a cross there on AMD. We'll see if the cross actually holds or not. Exactly, Chase. The entry is gonna be rough, man. Connor said, "Hey, how does the challenge work? Do I have to put up a deposit to start it for the 5 day demo challenge? No, it's completely free. You don't have to deposit anything. You might have to fill out a form. I've actually never done it, but I'm pretty sure you don't have to deposit anything. Best to ask them though. But I know you have to fill out a form and stuff like that. But it's supposed to be free, and so basically, like, you can try it for free. If you win, great. If not, it's not going to cost you anything, I don't think. But ask them to be sure. And here, I'll post the link if you're interested in it. There's that link if you want to go check it out. Right, correct. It's actually called the 5 day demo challenge, so it's on a demo account. Yeah, no stress. Yeah, but it's a demo account. But for that reason, I think it's free. I'm pretty sure it's free. Tech. Hey, Tech, you didn't have to deposit anything, right, for it? I'm pretty sure you don't. I'm pretty sure it's completely free. All right, so again, we get the crossover here. We'll see if it works here, you know. The only problem I said is, like, it's a fade. So, like, I don't like it as much, but I use small sizing. I'll let it work until it crosses back over. They want to see that you are able to trade well, then they will fund you the 14K. Yeah, for sure. That's what I figured it was. I think it's actually probably used more for, like, you know, they're going to look at the strategies you're using, and if they're profitable strategies, they may implement them themselves, which is fine. I mean, I completely understand that as well. But I think that's probably what they're doing with it. Right, exactly, Bill. You pay nothing, win or lose. It's completely free, and so that's why I said, in my opinion, it's worth. It's you might as well. I mean, it's free. You know, you might as well try to win a free account. It's tough. It's a tough challenge, but I mean, I'm sure you know it's definitely possible. It's just tough. All right. So one thing I'm noticing with this crossover is that if it starts to head the other way after you're into it, you got to be careful. Uh, You know, a lot of the time, at least for shorting, a lot of the times it's going to immediately go in your direction. If it kind of consolidates and starts to go against you, I think a lot of the time it's going to fail. And so you got to be careful with these type of moves. It's still a little early, but I'm still watching it. And again, this is just a paper trade just for testing it. But the first time it worked well. Oh, sorry guys. I just realized that this wasn't up. Should be a little bit better now. Okay, TL. What's up, Sunil? What's up, man? Yeah, OKTL, huge drop. OKTA, huge drop at the open. Just a massive drop here. CGC has been doing an Irish rubber dance on the VWAP. Yeah, it has. Honestly, so far though, at least for this crossover play, I've liked it on the short side much better. It obviously, still works on the long side, but I like it on the short side better so far. So CGC finally broke under the VWAP there. We'll see what happens with that one. ACB, beautiful fade so far though. Beautiful VWAP fade for ACB. Yeah, it's kind of like tap dancing. Oh, sorry. 2A. I'll check it. Hold on, brother. Yeah, I got it. Yep. 1060 example. Appreciate it. Cannabis stocks taking it on the chin. Yeah, CGC's, I mean, it's down on the day, but not by much. Cron is really down. So is ACB. What's another? APHA is about sideways. APHA is kind of following CGC. But ACB, beautiful fade here. Just a beautiful, beautiful fade. Let me take off this crossover strategy thing. But look at the fade on ACB at least. Beautiful fade. Right up to the VWAP. Right here. Followed through a decent amount already too. It'll be interesting to have a losing trade with this crossover, a losing paper trade, because I'll be able to see when it doesn't work just about what I'm essentially risking overall on a cents basis. I made about $70, $60 with the crossover play. I'll have to look back on it. Because once these crossover again, that's my cue to get out. What? Two-way? Oh, man, that sucks, man. Good luck at your new job, Two-way. Have a good day, brother. We'll see you tomorrow, man. Oh, sorry. On Cyrus's question, let me see. I remember seeing it. I forgot to get back to him. He said when opening a brokerage account for the first time, they ask about annual income, net worth, liquid net worth. How do the answers work in favor against the person down the road? So they're probably. I'm not 100% sure. It's best to ask them, but I'm guessing they most likely do it to determine how much margin they would be willing to give you in the future. So like how much buying power they would be willing to give you. Basically like how much how much margin, how much buying power they would consider giving you depending on how much you make. If you don't make much, they're probably not going to give you margin. If you make a lot, they'll probably be pretty lenient with giving you margin and so forth and so on. But that's just a guess. I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, that's possible as well, Metron. Honestly, I mean that's plausible. All of those sound plausible to me. Really, I mean they could all work. They could all be the same thing. All right, I'm probably gonna go ahead and get out of this one now. I tested it, had one successful trade. The second one didn't work out here. It's just about where to set risk, I think, at this point. Um, I don't know if AMD is going to continue dropping or not, but it's just about where to set risk at this point. I could let it work to 2380s or so. But the first one did, so that's 1-1 today. So we're about break even on these paper trades so far for AMD. Up on my live real money account, and I mean I'm up on this one as well, but it's just a new strategy, and so the whole point in paper trading it is just to see how I would approach it. Like I said, the biggest thing is where am I going to stop out? I could wait until it crosses back under, and I mean that's that sounds okay, but it just depends, man. It just depends on how I should approach these type of trades. It still hasn't crossed yet. But it looks like it's at least about to cross back over really quick here. I think the best time to do it is really like a little bit earlier in the day. Maybe Casey was right on that regard. Or maybe I'm judging this one loss a little bit too much here. Overall, it seems to be a reliable strategy, at least for AMD. What's up, North Chapter? My cargo. That's terrible advice, brother. Terrible advice, man. Yeah, I'm watching for this cross here. It looks like they're about to cross. They're at least touching right now the two moving averages. And so with that, I got to be ready to exit this trade when it breaks down under here, which it very well may, and it seems like it probably will. At least come back down and test these lows of the day. That's what I'm looking at. I think it's probably going to happen. I'll give it a little bit of time here, see if we can bounce back, but I don't know how guys trade big money. My palms are sweating. I'm chewing my nails and thinking about doing a shot of tequila. It's tough, man. I mean, I still got to do it. It's something I'm still working on, honestly. Alright, so we get a bounce back here on AMD. And so I stuck to my level. I stuck to my level. And so still got a little bit of time here. Could let this one ride out. My entry is 2390s, and so it's at 86. So my entry is about right here. Which honestly looked like a terrible entry if I'm looking at this one objectively here. I mean, my entry was right here, like right at the top of this resistance level. So I don't know if that was the greatest entry. Maybe should have waited for it to break here and then jumped in, just looking back and reviewing the trade. But like I said, that's why the whole point of paper trading it is I'm trying to learn, the best way to approach this strategy overall. All right, this is where I really want to get out. Right here. I'm not going to hold it through this, especially if it breaks 280. If it bounces here, great, but it's probably going to slice through this low and then continue dropping, maybe a big surge down. So I'll let it test, but probably about to get out of the paper, this last paper trade. Overall, it's still, there's the crossover. All right, so it crossed over again, actually, seeing this here. Overall, one green trade. What am I doing? I'm still in this. Oh. Am I long or short? I'm long. There we go. So, I mean, overall, it's still green on both of them, both the paper account and the live account, but there's still some more studying to do with this crossover strategy, specifically with where I should take profits, if I should hold it until the next crossover, and how do I establish my risk in the trade. Casey said that you could use the cross as your risk ultimately, which makes a little bit of sense, but I want to test both ways of it first. Cron is beautiful. Big wash, man. Big wash for Cron. MACD is an indicator. That actually stands for moving average convergence divergence. Basically, it's like a moving average indicator, crossover indicator. Had to look that up, to be honest, what MACD stands for. I assumed it meant moving average crossover, but the D was, I was a little confused with it. So I'm watching Cron here. We'll see if it works here on Cron. Right, Cron's had a pretty big, and I can paper trade this one too if I want. What do you guys think? You guys think I should stick around and paper trade the Cron MACD crossover maybe? Or the Cron moving average crossover? See if it works. Looks like it's about to cross here. Stick around. Alright, I'll stick around. We can test it, see if it works here on Cron. I like Cron a little bit better because it's so extended on the downside now that when it does cross over, it's probably going to be a nice long play. And something we were talking about yesterday is it's kind of like you see a huge drop, you could set the VWAP as your reward target. And so I think that's reasonable as well if it does cross over here and move up. It just depends on when. The squeeze indicator? Never heard of it. Never heard of it, bro. Also, if anybody's interested in signing up for TradeNet and using the broker that Mitch and I use on a daily basis, I'll post that link here as well. Let me see. Let me find it. And so, yeah, if you go through my link on TradeNet, you do get 10% off TradeNet packages. And so it's a pretty good deal, in my opinion, pretty cheap overall. And it's the broker that Mitch and I use. And so if you're interested in checking out the broker we use and getting 10% off of it, go check out this link. I'll post this link in the chat now. It's one of the ways we keep the stream free. And so if you're already considering using TradeNet and want to help support the channel, you can go through our link and help support us. And we definitely appreciate it if you do. Also, if you have the time, hit the like button right now on this video. We definitely appreciate it, and it does help support us. And so if you click the like button, if you appreciate this content, we definitely appreciate it, like I said. Looking for the crossover on Cron, C-R-O-N. Waiting for the actual crossover, though, but I like the long setup here. If it does crossover, we'll see. Alright, so it looks like we might get a crossover here. I'm just going to use the same share size, 500 shares, for the example. Do we have a crossover here? It looks close. We need another spike up to get the crossover here. All right, so I was just kind of patiently waiting here. I think Kron has kind of touched the bottom a few times. It definitely has some support underneath it here. And so if we do have a risk level, we could essentially use the previous low of the day as our risk right there at around 2113, 2110 maybe, depending on where the crossover actually happens or so. And so I don't hate that. Still waiting for it. Yeah, I mean, at this point, Young, I'm just kind of testing it right now, and this is the specific one I'm using, which is the 12 EMA and the 26 SMA, and so I'm just kind of testing these two now. I'll check out the MACD after this. I've never really used the MACD that much before. I usually stick with the VWAP as my favorite indicator, but I've heard okay things about the MACD, and so I'll check that one out. I'll have to look at that one after this, but I think Mitch uses the MACD a little bit more than I have. Um, Twin Cities asks, do you like live paper trading or using historical charts? For back testing and testing a strategy, a little bit of both. I think if you're working on building a plan, then paper trading is obviously beneficial. But if you're just trying to test it, I think just looking at the history of the chart is a little bit more beneficial when you're specifically back testing it. But like I said, for Kron right now, for the moving average crossover, I'm just paper trading it to test it a little bit. I've looked at the charts, but I just want to kind of test it, kind of see some nuances of it, see if I can pick anything up from paper trading it. I've already traded my real account for the day, made a little bit of money on my regular account, and so I'm kind of in testing mode now, where I'm just kind of looking at these. AJ says, how do I know what price buy and sell market will give me? You don't. Market order will give you, it's supposed to give you the best possible price, but there's not really a ceiling on that. And so it's a little bit risky depending on which broker you're using. Right? Limit orders are typically a little bit safer to use because limit orders are supposed to give you that specific price or better. So you're supposed to get the exact price you put the limit order in for or better. Market orders is just the best possible price. And so it's a little bit more broad, ultimately a little bit more risky using market orders. But like I said, for TEFs and for paper trading, it doesn't really matter. Like for paper trading like this, it doesn't really matter. I don't mind using market orders. And on TEFs, market orders I think actually work a little bit better than limit orders. And so it all depends on the broker really. But on a conventional broker, I don't know if I'd necessarily suggest using market orders. RYIV. Wow. Yeah, this one was a big move. I mean, the float's not small for this one either. The float's like 70, 80 million. It's not a huge float. It's a smaller float, but it's not tiny. Which is what you see a lot of the time with these penny stocks. So I'm still waiting for the crossover for Kron right here. If it takes too long, I might just kind of close it down. And if we get a break under the lows here, I don't know if I'm going to want to attack that one. AJ, I mean, I use TEFs, so I use a market order usually because it's a little bit different. It's CFD trading for my live account, my real money account, and so it's a little bit different. Like if I was using, like I've used Thinkorswim before. When I use Thinkorswim, I would get in on the bid or the ask. Like if I was short, I would usually get in on the bid, and if I was long, I would have to get in on the ask because that's going to get me filled immediately, but it's going to give it certain parameters that protect my trade and my entries. And so when I use Thinkorswim, like I said, I usually got in on the bid and ask, but those are ultimately limit orders, and so that's what I typically did. Nice, Netron. Love the show. Newbie here. What is the green bar? Oh, that's donations people have given me. But what's up, man? Welcome, brother. All right, well, we're sitting here watching Kron. I'm probably going to close it down. This one's taking a little bit too long to cross over here, but if you want to see, if you want to follow along with the paper trade I was looking to test the crossover with, I'm looking at Kron. Long play if the white line, if the 26 SMA crosses under the 12 EMA. So that's what I'm looking at here. The TradeNet challenge definitely looks interesting. Just a quick question. I hear you say pretty often that some stocks aren't tradable. What is and isn't tradable on TradeNet? So mostly penny stocks are not tradable. Most stocks over $10 are tradable, but like mostly low float penny stocks are not. And so like for instance, Kron's tradable. Most of the cannabis stocks are tradable, like Kron, CGC, NBEV, ACB, APHA, those are all tradable. But like I said, the more expensive stocks, so it never crossed over and it ended up breaking under it. So I'm just going to stop watching that. But the more expensive stocks are typically the ones that are tradable. But like I said, most stocks under $5 are not tradable. So you can't trade most stocks under $5. And so, you know, mostly it usually isn't a problem for me. Because I usually trade like AMD, cannabis plays. Most of the stocks I trade are in between like $10 and $30. But if you're looking to trade specifically penny stocks like under $5, you're going to have a pretty hard time finding stocks to trade. Yeah, I mean, really, the stream starts up. Appreciate it, Jason. But yeah, most of the time the stream starts up at about 8:15 market time, and I'll let the scans run until about 8:45 market time. So it starts up a little bit earlier, but most of the time I'm not talking until about 8:50 or so. Yeah, no worries. Like I said, oh wait, I gotta change that. The 20% off sale is not there anymore. Let me see. And like I said, if anybody wants to check out the 5-day demo challenge, I don't think IGC is. IGC was recently added back. I can check it, but I don't think it is. Let me check. It used to be tradable before it got removed the first time, and now it's not. Yeah, they took it off. This one was recently added back here, so it's not tradable. But yeah, if anybody wants to check out the 5-day demo challenge on TradeNet, I'll post that link one more time. You know, it's free. You get a free shot at winning a free funded account. And so if you're interested in checking that out, I'll post that here. But yeah, guys, I'm probably going to close it down. I never got the crossover yet for Kron. Still waiting for that crossover. And so if we get the crossover, I might consider it. But at this point, it's not there yet. I'll play my little promo video for the site so people can check that out. And yeah, aside from that, we'll go ahead and close it down a little bit. Let me get this right here so you guys can see it. Play my little promo video for the site. Turn the volume down a little bit. All right, that's our promo for our site. If anybody wants to sign up, I'll post that link here. Jason's convincing comparison of the price of blank has convinced me to sign up for a month. Hey, nice, Connor. Hey, if you're interested, brother, go check it out, man. Like I said, I think it's pretty cheap. $15 a month overall is ridiculously cheap compared to the thousands everybody else is charging. And honestly, I'm pretty sure we have more content than everybody else. I mean, we have literal days of content, like over 50 hours of content, so actual days of content. And so I think it's a pretty good deal. But yeah, go check it out if you have time. We're also the only people that are actually day trading live every day. And showing everybody everything. So go check it out if you have time. Nice, Connor. Hey, we'll see you tonight, brother. We'll see you tonight, Connor. Appreciate the sign up. And shout out to Jason for, the promo. But yeah, guys, have a good day. Not a bad day overall, $50 green on the day. Doing pretty well each week. I haven't had a losing week in about a month now. And so, overall been doing well. Doing it all live on stream. And, good luck for the rest of the day, guys. Have a good day. Click that like button if you haven't already. Appreciate all the new subs. Ismael, super cool, man. Delonte, Steven, welcome, guys. Welcome. Appreciate it. I hope you'll be back tomorrow. Click the like button if you haven't already to help support the channel if you appreciate this content. And, good luck, guys. We'll see you all tomorrow. Same time as always. Have a good day.